Where do we need to begin as the first round is wrapping up, as things are marching on? People are looking for tennis bets. Where should we start the conversation?
Yeah, I think I think one of the great things about the early rounds at Wimbledon is there are a lot of players that you can sort of buy low on, right? You can say, okay, well, this guy's either trending up or this guy, I know him and I don't think the public knows him. I don't think the odds makers know him. I'm going to go ahead and grab him. And a lot of times in the early rounds with such large fields, you'll get players that are ranked 70, 80 in the world that are just large favorites for no reason, like very large favorites. So anyway, when it all comes down to that, I'm going to give you a couple of matches that I'm looking at. But later on today, I really like this kid, Jack Pennington-Jones, and another kid, an American kid, Alexander Kovacevic. But Pennington-Jones especially going up against Tomas Martin Echeverry. Echeverry is very much out of form. He was a clay-dominant player, decided to add some miles an hour on his serve, get in the lab a couple of winters ago. Serve looked better, and I thought maybe this guy was going to round into form, be an all-court player, but he's been absolutely awful since. He's been getting hurt, and he's also been making a lot of errors, and we've got a young British 22-year-old who just graduated from Texas Christian University, also known as TCU, folks. He will be taking the court here in front of a home crowd because he is British, and I do feel like he has a lot of potential, and I definitely think he's going to win this match. He hits the ball very hard. I've seen him play on the Challenger circuit here in the United States indoors. Love him, and I love Kova as well. They're going to be probably going off right around the same time, but Kovacevic, a little bit different of a play here. He's the younger American, but he did graduate college several years ago now, just making his way into the top 100 about a year and a half ago, and has a great game for grass with the one-handed backhand, good slice, good serve. Just hasn't been able to put it all together, but seeing him at plus 290 is kind of crazy. And as I said, guys, that's exactly what you get early in these tournaments. You'll get some pretty spicy numbers like Jensen Brooksby yesterday at plus 185.
All right, so some better numbers for the matchups today. Overall, odds tell us that this is basically a three-player race on the men's side. Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic. Is there anyone worth looking towards down the board, or out of those three, do you have a strong take on a winner there?
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of a reason to take a look at Jack Draper down a little bit more on the board. I think he's still top 5 in the odds, but he's a young British man. I think he's got a very good chance to win here. He just really can beat anybody on his day. He's got that talent, and Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz both know that he's good enough to beat them on his best day. And what's held him back this year, in his career, the jackhammers are very distracting, if you can hear them. What's held him back in his career is the fact that his body has quit on him time and time again, whether it be in matches with fatigue, whether it be, just the built up fatigue of playing best of 5 tennis. But he's found a way to manage his body a little bit better in the last year. He's managed to flatten out his forehand, which has helped him finish points quicker. Also, more decisiveness, maybe coming to the net on volleys. He's learning how to finish points quicker. It's helping him conserve energy. But yes, the bottom line here is that this is an incredibly all-around talented tennis player. Does nothing, no weaknesses, does nothing wrong on the court. Great speed, great pop on the forehand and the serve. Great touch at the net. I really like him. He's in Jannik Sinner's quarter. What I'm going to recommend is I was going to wait to see if he gets out of the second round against Bublik. I think Bublik may have just lost today. So then maybe all systems are go. But I like him a lot. In terms of the names you mentioned, Kate, I would say Novak Djokovic is actually my favorite value on the board. I think we're seeing a little bit too much of an overreaction from the odds makers here with Sinner and Alcaraz. Not that they're not deserving of being the favorites, but the number on Djokovic, I think it's a little bit crazy for me.
All right. Nearly 7-1 on Djokovic. All right. What about the women's side? You just broke down some matchups that you like right now, and then futures for the men. What about the women's side?
Yeah, I'll take a look at some futures here as well. One woman I continue to talk about every Grand Slam, and I'm going to see if we still have the odds up here. She's moved from plus 10,000 to plus 7,000, and that is Diana Schneider. She's a 21-year-old Russian. She has a gigantic game. She reminds me a lot. I call her WTA Ben Shelton. She plays very similar. She's got a big serve. She's really going to boss points when she's in rhythm. She's got her confidence going. When she's not, she's prone to make a lot of errors. But this is a very special talent. She rose into the top 15 last year with just a really great run on hard courts. Grass is a surface where it takes some people time to get more experience, but I do think her game fits this surface incredibly well. I love her at that price. I think it's a little bit crazy that given the fact that her draw is also pretty good. She's in a good section of the draw with Jasmine Paolini up there as well in her quarter, that she could easily make the quarters here, if not better. But the name I have to mention here, who's everybody's darling at this tournament, is Marketa Vondrousova. Obviously won this tournament a couple of years ago. Haven't really heard from her since. This year she went and took a title on grass and beat the likes of Aryna Sabalenka and Jessica Pegula. Just a really solid run from her, and I think the sky is the limit here for Vondrousova. She's got a very special game. She's heating up in a hurry, and she's not exactly a long shot at plus 1,400, but when you look at beating Madison Keys, Diana Schneider, Ons Jabeur, Aryna Sabalenka, that is a pretty impressive resume for her in Berlin. So again, while she hasn't won, she hasn't won Wimbledon in 2 years, and we really haven't seen a lot from her. She hasn't played a lot of matches. She's heating back up right now, and I think this is a really good time to take a look at her.